All right, so I'm FaceTiming with my mom. So I want to only tell this story once because it has to do with the other podcast. But give me 1 second and I'll tell the story. So yesterday I helped a friend who had car trouble right at the height of rush hour in Research Triangle Park. And there was supposed to be, and my phone will beep, just ignore it. There was supposed to be like a longer wait, but we had a nice conversation and we hadn't seen each other in a while. We caught up and it was really neat. We kind of talked about life, about just some stuff in his family. He lost both his parents and he misses his mom quite a bit and whatnot. But I was just enjoying the idea that I say yes, which, I get up and I'm like, God, what do you want me to do? And someone calls and they need help. I say yes. So I was getting this amazing reward, but he was feeling very down about the prospect of how much it was going to cost. And, stuff was going on at work and, and I kept saying, let's just see if we can find the joy in it. And so what we found, Mom, was this joy was the actual moment. I said yes, and it was like I got this joy. And it's just like last week when Mike needed a favor and I said yes, and I got all this joy from that. It was me helping them, but I was getting joy. So fast forward, how I said if something sparks joy, I try to tell people in the moment. I started doing that at the beginning of the year. If something makes me happy, like when we go to Walmart, Robert and I go to Walmart, there's a lady who works at the Walmart who always has these really fancy nails. And since we only go every, couple weeks or whatever, her nails change. And I always go to the pharmacy just to see what changes happened in her nail. That just sparks joy, and I always try to say, okay, you're sparking joy. I love that. So since I've been doing that, I thought with this friend who was kind of down but feeling better, I would listen for that moment today. And as soon as it happened and I recognized that it was happening, I would text it. Right? So you're with me so far, right, Mom?
I am.
Okay.
Am I able to see you?
Do I?
Am I supposed to be able to see you, or you?
Oh, no, you're probably seeing the roof of my room right now because I'm just recording this, but you're listening in. And your camera's not on. They can see that your camera's not on, and they can see. Can you see me now? There I am. All right. So you're with me so far.
Yeah.
So I have 2 knuckle-headed dogs, and they were really antsy this morning. So I do this doggy spa thing where I bring them in the room, and I kind of on the bed, kind of get them set up on the bed. I close the blinds, I put on some soft music, and they usually go to sleep, unless they're antsy. I did the quiet music, but I didn't cancel, so my office is next door, and the quiet music was kind of playing in the background, and I was kind of getting into the music as well, because I'm working. It was fun, and then I heard laughter. Like this uproarious laughter from the granddaughters next door.
Mm-hmm.
And they were out back doing something, and something happened, and it just was like giggles and giggles and giggles and giggles to the point where I'm typing and working, and I'm like giggling to myself, listening to them giggle. And I was like, oh, this is the joy I'm supposed to share with my friend. But I thought, I'll go out back. You know how I am, Mom. So I'm going to go out back and I'm going to talk to their mom and tell them about how they sparked joy that I was getting ready to share with my friend because he needed uplifting. Because I knew the girls would get a kick out of that. Right? So I go out back and the girls are out with their mom. And, I was telling her, the mom, the story. And the mom shared that in their sandbox, they found a frog. And they were excited about the frog. So I said to the youngest one, I was like, well, you take really good care. And she said, we're not taking care of this. Is not a pet. We're not taking care of it. I was like, well, don't hurt it. She's like, we would never hurt a frog. And it was just this cute moment, right? So, being true to my word, Mom, I go back to tell my story to my friend. I was like, you're not going to believe what sparked joy for the first time for me today. And I told him, and he started to cry. But I could tell it was tears of joy, but I couldn't tell why. But I was like, it's like this great thing, and I love when these great things happen to me. And I didn't even realize how much joy I get in even sharing the story. But I really needed to make sure that I shared this with you first thing this morning, because I knew how bad your day was yesterday. And I just wanted whatever joy I found, I wanted to share that in the hopes that it lifted you up. I didn't expect him to cry. But you know what he said? He said, my mom collected frogs.
Oh my gosh.
And I said, oh, then that wasn't for me. That was completely for you. That wasn't a message for me. I was just a conduit. I keep saying I'm like this weird facilitator of yes and this weird facilitator of joy. Because I realize if I just say yes, joy comes. But helping a friend who said, I didn't know who to turn to, and you were the first person that came to mind, I was like, good, because I like saying yes. And I got to say yes to him, and then, because my Holy Spirit doesn't leave me alone, Joy was aggravating me to pay attention this morning for the first sign of joy, so that I could share that with the friend, just in case that friend needed it. Turned out that friend did, and turned out that joy wasn't for me. That joy was actually for that friend. And he heard that in my message.
Yes.
So I just wanted to share that with you, Mom, because you keep saying things are changing, and I now see that things are changing. I just wanted to share that with you in real time, and I'm recording myself so that I don't have to go through remembering how I explained it to you. They now get to see how I explain things to my mom.
Yes, that was big. And I'm glad that it brought him some joy. It's just amazing how God works.
It is. So I thought you get a kick out of that. That's it. I'm going to stop the video now, but I love you.
Love you too, honey.
Bye.